We have in the past covered the remarkable remnants of the amphitheaters of antiquity, noting the still existing, yet now lost technological accomplishments present at such sites, such as the polygonal flooring still present within Delphi, Greece. Yet most conveniently, now not still in existence at many sites worldwide, as if removed at a later, more modern date, possibly to cover up these truly impressive sites' real age, and indeed the evidence which suggests they were, regardless of academic claims, the feats of a now lost, yet once highly capable, and arguably global, super-civilization. One site with a particularly impressive legacy is that of the Petra Theater. Now largely claimed as a 1st century AD nabataean theater, it is situated some 600 meters from the center of Petra. A substantial part of the theater was somehow, just like that of the rest of Petra itself, once carved straight out of the solid rock. Yet no less impressive are the sections constructed prior to this, such as the scana and exterior wall, which were constructed not from solid rock, but regardless, clearly by highly capable individuals, with the intention of giving the theater a long life, something they succeeded at no end. In addition, the theater's auditorium consisted of 3 horizontal sections of seats, separated by passageways and 7 stairways, all constructed later to ascend. The theater could accommodate a number of approximately 8,500 people, more than the estimated number of Ammon Theater. Although Petra Theater follows similar architectural patterns of Roman theaters, which it must be noted were all somehow constructed to enhance their acoustic resonance, is now attributed to the Nabataean kingdom, due to the floral textures found within, which do indeed match this once great civilization's artistic styles. Its characteristics, however, although claimed as being copied from other sites, now claimed as Roman, was, as mentioned, carved from solid stone, something amphitheaters of Rome were not. Who built Petra Theater? Indeed, who built Petra? Or the other amphitheaters around the globe, all possessing this advanced acoustic ability? Where did this knowledge come from? Where did this knowledge get lost through history? It is a quest which we find highly compelling.
Situated in present-day Jordan and hidden amidst nearly impenetrable mountains to the east of the valley connecting the Gulf of Aqaba and the Dead Sea, stands the ancient city of Petra, one of the world's most visually stunning architectural sites. Petra, meaning the rock in Greek, is an abandoned necropolis of temples and tombs cut into towering cliffs of red, pink, and orange sandstone. The so-called monastery of Adir, found in Petra, and along with the iconic wonder of Al-Hasna, are simply majestic. These things are remnants of a civilization that fizzled out under circumstances that we know little about, and in fact, there wasn't any written history of this place for a period of 600 years. It was completely forgotten about, and habitation did not resume here until the construction of these things would have taken years. And the theory is that the stone workers started at the top of the Envision project and worked to the bottom. A hazardous feat of engineering brilliance. And what strikes us is the fact that this is unnecessary in the today and now in such a remote yet strategic location. And you must consider that when Petra was carved from the rock, then this very ancient sites must have been the work of an advanced culture who had at their very disposal the tools and the equipment to carry out these projects. And at this place during that time, it would have been a glorified oasis rich with a water supply. Oh, and in the middle of nowhere, this was a hidden city in the desert. This place was constructed in the 1st century according to scholars, but little is known about it, only being rediscovered in modern times in 1812 by a Swiss explorer as European fascination with all things ancient spread across the Middle East. The civilization credited with the construction of Petra were the Nabataeans, who emerged as a significant power in the Near East during the late Hellenistic and early Roman imperial era. Diodorus characterizes this civilization as a nomadic people and suggests that they were of Arabic origin. Numerous studies have been undertaken in an attempt to better define what was their actual specific origin. The bulk of the evidence places their homeland somewhere in modern Saudi Arabia, from which they migrated along the coast and finally settled at Petra. This, however, proved to be an ideal location for the first Nabataean king, Aretas I, to launch his destiny. Tucked away in the Wadi Musa Valley, Petra guaranteed security to its inhabitants. The primary entrance to the city was through the Sik, a narrow gorge about 3 kilometers long, 100 meters deep, and narrowing in places to a width of only 3 meters. Therefore, the passage to the city need only be guarded by only a few men and could be blocked with boulders to prevent enemies from entering. As masters of hydraulics, they created an intricate system of cisterns, tunnels, catchments, and a gravity-fed pipeline fed by the An Musa. Consequently, at their height, these people were able to provide sufficient water for 30,000 people, despite an annual rainfall of only 6 inches. Petra's position at the crossroads of trade gave this location the power to control the principal caravan routes, which trafficked gold, precious stones, myrrh, and other exotic things, and so as the Nabataeans grew rich from their caravan trade, the former nomads became sedentary city dwellers. Many archaeological remains from Damascus to the Sinai bear witness to their urbanizing activities. However, their capital Petra remains the most spectacular example. It is thought that Petra prospered for 276 years under this dynasty, reaching its zenith under Aretas IV. However, upon Rebel II's death in 106 AD, the Nabataean kingdom was annexed by Rome. Since Petra was not on the pilgrim's route to Mecca, what livelihood the city had went into a rapid decline. According to certain traditions, it was Miriam, the sister of Moses, that died and was buried here. Her mountaintop shrine was still shown to pilgrims at the time of St. Jerome in the 4th century, but its location has not yet been identified, since some scholars have suggested that the Temple of Adir may be the site of her grave, but this was certainly not the original or the primary use of the temple, and there is no mention of Petra in any record beyond 1276. After 1276, it seems both the East and West had long forgotten the ancient city, and its location and history ceased to appear in any written context. Most scholars of the following eras viewed Petra's existence as little more than a legend, and indeed, it was only stories of the lost city in the desert that existed in oral legends. Consequently, it wasn't until Petra's rediscovery in 1812 by the Swiss explorer that the myth of a rose-red city that was half as old as time became a reality. Yet the majesty and architectural astonishment of the place remains to this day and for all time, as it is now a UNESCO heritage site under the protection of all of humanity. That's the idea anyway, and in 2007, it was listed as one of the new wonders of the ancient world, being named ahead of Easter Island statues and Chichen Itza in Mexico. What do you guys think about this anyway? Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.